Hello everyone, boxing friends. We are continuing our detailed topic on defense in the sport of boxing. Today we are going to show you several practical exercises that are absolutely essential for a boxer when it comes to effectively blocking incoming punches. These specific techniques include various blocks and parries. And what is the difference between them? The reality of the situation is both blocks and parries are executed and carried out in the same area. And quite often boxers confuse them. The important thing is, a block is typically performed normally, right to right or left to left. But a parry can function in a significantly different way. Of course, you can also execute blocks from right to left or left to right as well. But those are slightly different variations. Today, we will showcase some of the specific exercises that assist a boxer in properly setting the priorities of their defense and the preparatory movements leading up to a punch. So, watch closely and enjoy the demonstration. Look, there's a significant distinction between a parry and a block. A parry is when you actively deflect an incoming attack. A block is when you put something in the way. In this case, we start from below. Why from below? Because it will be easier to explain upwards later. When a punch comes, I put up a block. Try it to the body. That is, I actually move my torso. Once more. There it is. See, it's coming. So I catch it with my torso like a block. Go ahead. There. There it is. See? Here. So at the moment of tension, there it is. I put up a block. Stop. Move slowly so it's clear where you're hitting the organ. All right. There we go. That's good. So what I do is rotate my upper body and put this part of my elbow forward. Here it is, see? Second one. Here it is. Here it is. Then if, for example, I do it differently, then I expose myself to a hit. Now do it well with your left. If I suddenly do it like this, bring my arm out like this, move it away like in a block, then this area immediately opens up for me. Now if you take a look here, when you do a block, the most straightforward and basic method is crosswise. Your right hand to their right hand and your left to their left. Start. When I place it like this, everything around here is still completely covered, so that it actually protects you. Now, what is a block? Well, here is the block. Right hand to the right and left hand to the left. There. Here I'm blocking. It's true. Look, you can block everything with only using a single hand. One, then the other. One. Now really carefully aim your shots right here at the target. The other. You can do everything with one hand. This is a pure block, but in reality I'm working with my body. See? I'm working with my body. I move my body forward as if with my hand. Now what is a deflection? When you deflect, your body might not even move. Only one part of the parry will be working. A parry with the elbow or a deflection with the elbow. This is already contact defense. That is, in the vast majority of cases, this can even be a surprisingly effective and shocking defensive move, especially when you can actually hit unexpectedly with your elbow strike. The elbow works very quickly. So right here, you can actually do it from the left to the left, and also from the left over to the right. That is just like with a block, you can do everything with one hand. But now we are going to start using both of our hands. Begin. Pay attention to how I do this. In this case, my body stays in place. Only the elbow is moving. See how I deflect? There are certain advantages here as well. Look, now with one hand. Here on one side I attack the outer part, while on the other side I attack the inner part. I can also incorporate some movement with my upper torso. You can also do it with a shift now. That is, every single one of these individual elements is fundamentally connected and tied to a specific part of the strategy. So in one specific scenario you block, while in another case you deflect. It's just to further highlight and emphasize your own attack once again. That's why the legs and arms work very closely together here. Blocked. See, do you see what the mistake is? Your elbow moved away, that's it. I'll take you down here. Blocked. See, I took you down again. So when you block, you still have to protect this area. That's why you keep your elbow in place and turn your body so that your elbow controls both this part and this part, so that there's no pressure here. And sometimes you might even need to hold it for a moment. Don't rush to bring it back. Now move your hands away. Here's the first strike. Here. Second one. Here. When you start to turn, move your hand away. See, exactly here. Following this same pattern. Now you block with one and deflect with the other. You block with this one. Then you come back and deflect with this one. Here you see I can't reach anymore, only if I use some agility. That's why your deflection needs to be quick, so you can immediately return your hand to its place. So you can avoid this element altogether. Yeah, faster, really put it out faster. See, look, when you deflect here with your elbow, this hand is already getting ready. Deflect, then strike here. Once more. Deflect, then strike. There, can you go faster? By now you're already well aware of what this movement is ultimately going to lead to right away. All right, that sounds good. Now that's good. See, your hand moved. Now look, in this position you've deflected, your other hand should already be ready. If you deflected with this one, your other hand is ready, but after the deflection you can attack right away. Look, deflect, then attack. Deflect, then attack. Deflect, then attack. Deflect, then attack. Now we are finally getting much closer to a real intense and high-stakes combat situation. But why are you stepping back? On the contrary, you should be standing your ground when striking. So right now you're at a strictly middle distance, so you can understand how to work with contact. Deflect, strike. Deflect, strike immediately, all in one motion. Deflect from the other side, strike. Deflect, strike. Deflect, strike. Deflect, strike. Now here is another important point. Here I absolutely need to strike your pressure points so you know exactly the range at which your defense works. Let's try it one more time. Move your hand away. Liver. Liver. So after deflecting, deflect, strike, immediately bring your hand back. Now block, block, use your whole body. Use your body to block effectively. You can, look, right now you're pushing it forward, blocking. And now look, as I start to strike, block, and you start to move away. Start to move away slowly, but put your hand out, turn your body there, and move away, soften it, really let your opponent fall through. There you go, exactly like that. Now keep that distance and keep moving. This is what blocking is. The fact that you are blocking, you can block with this part. But then it will be hard to strike. That's why you block with this part, so that after blocking you can immediately strike. If you bring it too far over here, yes, it will be one-sided, and after that it will be hard to go for a strike. It's done with the body, with the body. The hand hardly moves at all. That's blocking. See, again, from right to right, from left to left. Now parry, parry, parry. Now look closely, block and strike, block and then strike, block and strike again. Carefully block, then strike. Once more, block and strike. Block and then strike. Block and then strike. Now look, this is what concerns only one hand. Very often it happens just in case. Suddenly one hand is out of action. You can parry to one side or to the other side. It works exactly the same way as when you are blocking to one side and to the other side. But here the pattern is actually quite a bit different from the others because, well, let's try to demonstrate it like this so that it is perfectly clear. You start with the left hand, parry, then start with the right hand. Parry, parry, block, and then finally, parry, parry. See where it's going? Where does your fist start? Right at the wrist. See? You can extend it. And then after blocking this one, it will be more serious. Just like here. Stretch out your arm, I'll explain. Take a look right here. Here is the first one, and right here is the second one. You can actually make it deep enough so that you go way past the elbow. That will definitely cause an injury. So all these little nuances, move your other hand. Just look at how incredibly short they actually are. Now look, I'm leading it to the elbow. Here, I can even lower my body to a point where you cannot reach me. And I have already set up a dangerous movement along your trajectory. Why is this absolutely necessary? So that you understand. To effectively prevent these kinds of things from happening, you have to strike with extreme speed, so quickly that it's impossible to intercept. Here, reach out so that, look, you don't get thrown off balance. All these options really need to be blocked. Just like you condition your fists on the heavy bag, you do the exact same thing here. First of all, this helps you with finding your distance. You understand that you're already at mid-range. These are precisely the specific moments that are directly related to fighting. That is, the precision of your hands, your movements. Everything should lead you toward the final strike. Blocked. Heavily struck. Firmly blocked. Powerfully struck. Firmly and resolutely blocked. Struck. Blocked. Struck. Blocked. Struck. Blocked. Struck. Good job. So that you don't get confused anymore and you understand which part will be working. Defense up top. While it might seem a bit different from standard body defense, the underlying principle is always exactly the same. Now, to take a closer look at the block, you simply put your palm out, catching the incoming strike just like you would with a baseball mitt. Here, it is the same fundamental blocking principle, moving from right to right and from left to left. You carefully put out your palm. Look, the punch is coming straight in, aimed right at the chin. This is actually very important because people start just throwing punches at the hand, and as a direct result, they end up breaking down their defense entirely. You always have to strike precisely here. Your task is also to block precisely. You block by turning your body, meaning you anticipate the trajectory of the punch. And you throw it. Once you've thrown it, get this hand ready to strike. You throw and respond with your hand. Once again, you throw and respond. You throw and then respond. Can you respond harder? Faster. There you go. See how the block works? Immediately go fully into defense. Relax your shoulders completely. And let's go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. As you can see here, the body is constantly in motion. The hands are almost remaining fixed in their position. When parrying, on the contrary, the hands are doing significantly more work than the body. That is, the body can stay in place and the hands can parry. This is also for certain tasks. You strike here. For example, I deflected, opened the way here for a strike. Deflected, struck. Deflected, struck. Hit with this hand. Once more. Deflected, struck. Deflected, struck. Deflected, struck. Deflected, struck. Deflected, struck. See, here the torso is working minimally. Here the hand is very active, a very fast hand. They say these are the simplest defenses, but that's not true at all. To develop this kind of motor skill, you really need to do a lot of preparatory exercises to understand how your body position should be. It shouldn't be out of sync with the strike. So, if you're parrying or blocking, those are different things. You deflected it in a way that's advantageous for you. For example, if you parry from right to right, see, you immediately expose yourself to a left. You can easily get hit. That is exactly why, if you defend more effectively from right to right, then the left side simply won't get through. See, it won't get through at all. It will still run directly into your block. When you are parrying, you can actually choose the specific direction of your movement. There are 4 main directions for parrying. So this one as well. It's carefully tailored to a specific strategy. There's a specific moment when you parry directly downward and then release your hand. Sometimes you deflect to the side. Hit with this hand. When you deflect your opponent's strike to the side, that's already setting you up for a combination of counter strikes. Sometimes you might make an upward defensive movement, parrying with the back of the glove, the outer side of your hand. Not the inner side, but the outer. So it appears like this. Also for a specific purpose. Here, both of your hands are fully engaged and active. So you have a whole range of options for parrying. Right now we're doing an exercise. That's more about the rhythmic motion of tapping away. Just like you tap on the bag, here you tap as well. So that eventually all the defensive options merge into a single defense. Defense with your hands, defense with your legs, defense with your body. It is all part of one single unified defense. This ensures that your entire body, including your hands, your legs, and every specific movement you make to block or deflect an incoming punch, all align perfectly in total synchronization. In other words, your main task as a boxer is to set up your own punch. That's why there are a wide variety of effective techniques to parry and stop your opponent's punch using blocks. There are a lot of different options in terms of offensive attack strategies and tactical maneuvers already. Ready? So now, simply focus on parrying the incoming strikes just like you would with a training mitt. Parried. Parried. Struck. Struck. Now watch. You parry with one hand and immediately load up and punch with the other. That's when you're using a block. You need to make a parry. Parry and immediately follow through with it. Parry and immediately follow through with it. Parry immediately. Parry immediately. See, you're making the movement too long. It should be short, it's an explosive movement. 1-1, parried, parried. Strike to the side, strike to the side, strike to the side, strike to the side. To put it in another way, one movement prepares you for the next, so that this movement mechanic is constantly and consistently primed for the same action. Whether you're engaged in defending or launching an attack, you still make certain movements that blend this form together. So in the end, it's a unified and singular form. When defending or attacking, the position of your body already senses what you're about to do. And so you catch blows. Fine. What are you doing here? A setup? How to make a beat? No. Do it again, do it again. You see, you'll get it right away. Therefore, when you hit, do it with this hand. Well, you see, you've opened up completely. While I was doing the parry, I opened up completely. You have everything grouped together. If you did it, you parried. See, now you have an opening. Parry. 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 Understand? And right away, you follow up with a strike. Well, that is certainly one possible option to consider, but we must also carefully evaluate all the other various factors and potential consequences that might arise as we move forward with this particular plan of action for the future. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, and then you strike right away. And 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Look, you must let your body go, because if you don't let your body go, then you simply won't be able to strike your target. You go 1, 2. That is, your movement might even go forward somewhere. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2. You brace yourself, then attack immediately. You brace yourself, then attack immediately. Almost all the strikes go there. That's it. Again, I'm telling you, everything depends on the serve itself. You brace yourself, you attack. You brace yourself, you attack. Now do it in one motion. There you go. Now look, don't pull your hand back. Just like you had it on your shoulder, put it on your shoulder. Just like you had it, bring your elbows together. Just like you had it, that's how it should fly out. Go slowly. That is very good. Well done indeed. The shorter the physical distance you have between you, the more unexpected and surprising it will likely be. Lead with your elbow, move your body forward. No, right now you messed it up with your elbow. One more time. You're twisting too much, getting carried away. I'll say it again. The most important thing here is precision. That's the movement. Bam, 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 bam. It's short but powerful. Don't be afraid. Fight more boldly. Place it precisely. Next. And 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. The only mistake is that your elbows are spread too wide. Transition to the top. You're just holding the pads. Look, I'm starting to hit you right in the head. Here you see this just won't work. I'm telling you again. So you turn your body to move it away from the punch and to bring your hand up. So you move your body away. In any case, you're already protected. And you bring your hand up only so you don't lose your punching distance. What this means is you already have your adversary in your sights. Now observe closely. You block with this one, and this one is already striking. See? Once again, block, strike. You make the movement right away, just like you do to the body. And right here, you really need to keep the shortest distance possible, meaning you shouldn't make any wide sweeping motion. So as soon as you block, see, your hand is already loaded. That is it. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, bam. That's it. And look, you can defend against the strike from below, but it will still be the shortest path possible. You can also bring it out from the side. It depends on the mechanics of your body, on how you want to bend it, for example, to gain a thorough grasp of this defensive technique. So you can block while already bending your body, loading yourself up for a strike. That's kind of the advantage. And here there's a big difference, I'm telling you again. So, parries, how should I put it? You pull with your left. Well, that just doesn't work in boxing, I'm telling you. If you start parrying like that, I swear I'll just destroy you. I'll smash your whole head in. That's why you have a clear distribution. If the right comes, the right goes. Here it is. The left comes, here it is. That's where the parry will work. Somewhere you see the opponent, you shift, you open up your own front. Somewhere you're already launching an attack. See how it is? The left will work against the left. The political right wing will actively struggle against the right. That would be a deliberate and calculated setup. But with a block, you can do it with one hand against two. See? Here the hand will do most of the work, but the body will still help. The body will still help anyway. Somewhere I'll extend it and I'll still be blocking the strikes. Block them according to direction. It all depends on my strategy, on what I want to do. Depending on which strike and which movement I want to set you up for. So you set up feints and immediately deliver strikes. Bam! And with the same hand you hit here. There you go, good. Very good. Here we are standing, and now I am slowly going to start to throw a punch. Very good. That is very good. That is just one option. In total, you have 4 different options available. Please make sure you do not let your hand go. There. Now the left goes. That's right. With these exercises, with these options, it's almost impossible to hit you because you're always in the process of striking. You understand? When you start choosing the right moves, whether to feint or to parry, you begin to truly understand how to interrupt your opponent's attack. The topic of defense in boxing is very interesting. My coach assigned me a lot more defensive training drills than the offensive ones he usually gives me. If they set you up for defense, they also set you up for offense. That is why in the upcoming lessons, we will definitely go over all the options for active defenses. We will look at external and internal methods, including how you can block with your elbow, when you should use your elbow, when to use your palm, and specifically when to use your forearm. Once again, there are a ton of exercises in boxing that specifically prepare you. These are not actually combat exercises yet, but preparatory training sessions. So, until next time.